Hello, my name is Amanda, also known as mendokusai. I'm making this video to go along with today's photo story because I'm sure a lot of you have questions. So I want to answer them. And also, I've got a couple of announcements. I apologize in advance for my foul mouth. First I should mention, yes, Chase is pregnant. It was planned for a long time. There's been subtle hints at it, like starting stages of morning sickness, mood swings, small references, and I'm sorry to everybody on my Q&A who asked what Meryl's belly was made out of, because, like I have said, you guys would get to know once all the baby nonsense was over with. And unfortunately, that includes Chase. Let's see. Though one person did ask, what did you use for Meryl's belly? If it was a head cap, please tell who was running around with a giant hole in their head. And I have said in a few places that I did use a head cap for the shape of Meryl's belly in the final stages of her pregnancy. It's not what I used for the earlier stages, but it was the cap from Sparrow's sleeping head. So nobody was running around with those in their head, unless you maybe count San. I'm sure he's got a few. A couple people asked about the babies. Did you always plan to make Gabe the father, or was it hard to decide? And did you know when Meryl got pregnant that she would be having twin boys, or did you decide later? It was always planned for her to have twins. She started showing a little earlier than she normally would have, and she was a little bigger than she normally would have been because of that. And Gabe was always planned to be the father. Which photo stories do you like reading? I wouldn't say that there's a specific type that I like reading. I don't really like dramatic photo stories so much. It's not that I don't like drama. I mean, I write enough of it. But the problem with most people writing drama is that they don't give you a chance to get to know the characters. If you start up a story and you have a new character or several new characters and you just automatically throw them into a situation, it's very important that your readers give a shit. And if you don't give them the chance to get to know these characters, then they're not going to care. They're not going to care about the situation. They're not going to care about what's going on with these characters. They're not going to care what happens to the characters. And it's important also to understand that photo stories are their own medium. They are not a movie. They're not a book. They're not an anime. It's helpful to incorporate some themes and elements from, you know, making movies and stuff like that. But don't treat the photo story like it's something else. You know, don't treat it like it's something that it's not, because it just does not work. And I like reading photo stories where people understand that. There's a couple of questions about Brodwyn, but I'm just going to say that she does have a story arc coming up, and you will get to know her a little more and a little more what drives her. So keep that in mind. And it's hard to talk about her as a character because she's a lot different in Bandit's Landing. In Bandit's Landing, she is more like an empty shell. In the photo stories, she has to take on a little more personality, otherwise she wouldn't really contribute to the scene as a whole. If you think of it in terms of like a play, the sort of character that acts kind of as a narrator. He's in several scenes, but he doesn't actually have a cemented character. He kind of changes slightly with each scene that he's in to add to a, general feeling or emphasize some specific sort of thing that's going on. Broadwin acts kind of like that sort of character. Is Alistair aware of his growing confidence or that he's changed in general? Do you think he still admires Gabe as much as he used to? I think he's grown a lot and just wondered if he thought so too. He's aware of the fact that he feels more comfortable around Chase. I wouldn't say he's aware of the fact that he's more confident in general, but I'd say that he is still envious of Gabe's self-confidence. Gabe has way too much self-confidence. And Alistair would definitely never be 100% comfortable in his own skin. So even if he's not as envious as he once was, there will always definitely still be at least a little bit of jealousy. Obviously in today's photo story, due to Chase kind of ignoring his phone calls for a few weeks, he is a little more nervous and receding a bit back into his shell. After today's photo story, I'm going on an indefinite hiatus. I think Sarah has a few photo stories planned. I can't say how many or when or how frequent, but I'm pretty sure Casey doesn't have any planned. But for me, I will not be doing any for a few weeks. I need time to do face-ups, which are very difficult for me to do right now, which I will address in my next announcement. And I honestly don't know how long it will take, and today's photo story was definitely a major cliffhanger, because once I do start doing photo stories again, we'll be introducing the new characters. My next announcement. This envelope. I hold in my hand an envelope that contains the future of the world. And in this envelope Chase is not the only one who's pregnant, and it's completely unrelated, I promise. But yes, because of me being pregnant, that is partly why I'm going on hiatus. That is why I've been so sick. I needed some time to deal with the fatigue and morning sickness, and it's making it very difficult to do photo stories. So, and I can't spray MSC myself, so it will take me a while to do the face-ups that I need to do. Other than